Man go crazy every time.
Oh,
That
you gotta give him that hawk too and spit on that thing.
This preschool teacher got fired for saying one of the tricks when you're having spicy time is you give it that hawk too. And she lost her preschool teaching job. Yo, what teachers do outside of the classroom has absolutely nothing to do with how they teach curriculum. Like literally, right? You should be able to leave your personal life outside of your job and then do your job professionally and then live your life outside of it. We all need a career. Some of us want to educate and some of us want to live our life. Yo, I don't understand how some of these people think that teachers need to be this. Yo, not even government officials are these like saints. Like, what? I don't understand this. Justice for Tuah Girl. Like, honestly, be so.
Oh my God. Okay, so first off, I gotta say, it's amazing how some of the most basic and trivial things go absolutely viral these days. It's like, bro, come on, like, let's be honest. There's way more content these days of girls saying and doing way more raunchy shit than what that girl said. That being said, I get homeboy's point. I get his point, and he's right. He's absolutely right. Teachers are normal people too. They're normal people. You know, they like to have a good time. They like to go out on a night on the town, have fun. They have sex. They talk about sex, right? Especially when they're young. They just want to have a good time when they're not working, right? So he's absolutely right. I get it. And what that girl said wasn't immoral or anything. She basically said what she liked to do when she having fun time with guys. You know, it's not like she said, oh, she liked to spit on the things of underage boys. The problem is she got caught on camera saying it. And that's where the dilemma lies. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't like this, but the fact of the matter is certain occupations and titles require a certain code of conduct inside and outside of work. Okay, I got one for you. Let's just say you're a pastor, right? You're a pastor or you're a preacher. And let's just say you're single. You're not even married, you know? You're not married. And you get caught having sex with a bunch of hookers. You got a stable of prostitutes around and shit like that. You're going to be judged far worse than, let's just say, a construction worker that's caught doing the same. Like a single construction worker having sex with a bunch of hookers or whatever he's out there. Why? Because the pastors are expected to uphold a certain code of conduct. You know, they're just held to a different standard, even if the pastor is single. You know, which traditionally, obviously, pastors are expected to be married and, you know, have children and be faithful and stuff. But even if the pastor is single, I know some people want to say, well, they're single, they should be able to do that. Well, that's just how it is. Certain titles come with certain standards and responsibilities inside and outside of work. For example, I bet any amount of money if a construction worker would have said anything remotely sexual in front of a camera, you know, during a night on the town, drinking or whatnot, it would have not gone viral and blew up and resulted in being fired and stuff like that. But again, that's my point. Construction workers, it's a different culture, a code of conduct and stuff like that. They're not working around kids. And they talk like that even on the job site. Construction work, anybody that's ever worked a blue collar job knows the deal. You know, so you get my point. You get where I'm going with this. Oh, she shouldn't have been fired. Listen, I get it. You know, I get it. But you got to understand the school's perspective. You got to understand the school's perspective here. I get it. You know, there's been an increase of female teachers having sex with their teenage students. There's been a crazy increase in all of that stuff. And the school doesn't want a snowball effect to happen. Now, there's going to be some people that are going to say, well, you know, everybody's different. Some little kids, boys, they're not traumatized by the experience because that's an argument. Oh, you know, if they're having sex with these older women, they're going to be traumatized by the experience. You know, while other boys, they grow up perfectly fine. You know, case by case, maybe that is true. But the fact of the matter is, school and stuff, that's not the place for that. Teachers should not be engaging in sexual intercourse with their teenage students, sometimes maybe even younger. It should not be happening, you know? And the school is they just want to just stop that. They don't want that to snowball. They don't want the snowball effect, you know? Now, some people may say, she's a preschool teacher. She's not going to be fucking preschoolers. Hey, listen, I bet any amount of money, the school that she works at, she's around teenage boys, not just little preschoolers. All right? In the school, they don't want that effect. They don't want anything crazy to happen. Let's just say that video surfaces and circulates. Next thing you know, the teenage boys get a hold of it and see it. Shit, next thing you know, you might have 14 and 15-year-old boys walking up to her talking about, yo, Miss Parker, I saw the video, so show me what that mouth do. And then a video surfaced of a bunch of 7th grade boys running train on Miss Parker. All right, let's be honest. Let's keep it a buck, as the rappers say. Every guy had that one, like, not student, but teacher that was real kind of like touchy-feely with their shoulder and shit like that. You know, everybody know, everybody had that one teacher. And it was always some dude just like, yo, man, Mrs. I give it the. That's how it starts. It's a snowball effect. You know, it just, that little shit like that. All it takes is a little. That's why, you know, the staff, they don't want teachers being too touchy-feely and getting all that shit. And they definitely don't want any kind of videos circulating. It's, you know, stop the domino effect then and there. You know, I think a good message would be careful what you post online. I notice a lot of women these days are very much inspired by OnlyFans models and Instagram models. You know, the whole sexual liberation movement, all this. And then, listen, if you like sex, like sex. I don't think women should be shamed for liking sex, right? But if you're a 9-to-5 working woman, you got to realize you're not living the life of an OnlyFans model. You can't like move and talk like an OnlyFans model. Most of those OnlyFans models and Instagram models, they live in bubbles. They live very isolated lives from general society. So they have the luxury of being able to, you know, just kind of do whatever they want and act however they want sexually and say whatever crazy thing they want on video, and then isolate themselves from whatever public backlash that comes their way. They can just play the la la la, I'm not listening game and talk about how they don't get no fuck and this and that, you know, but you got to remember, they're making lots and lots of money. So again, they have the luxury to isolate themselves from whatever public scrutiny and backlash that comes their way for their actions. If you're a 9-to-5 worker, you pretty much, if you do anything on camera or whatever, that could come back, and then you got to go into work the next day and deal with all your coworkers, your boss, you walking down the street, people in your neighborhood, you know, saying this and that. You know, it does matter. It's easy to be like, you don't give a fuck when you have the luxury to get away from all the, you know, dip and dodge from the public scrutiny and stuff like that. There's actually one OnlyFans the adult content creator in particular that comes to mind. Her name's Jasmine Jafar. Now she's known as the 304 lawyer, the whole lawyer pretty much. And now, you know, she used to be a lawyer. And then I want to say this. Once she quit her law job, that's when she really kind of went open about, you know, being on OnlyFans and that. Because one of the things she likes to do, she likes to talk about how she don't care what people think and this and that. You got to live your life not giving a fuck what people think. Well, that's easy to say when you've already established yourself monetarily in the OnlyFans world. It wasn't until she did that she, you know, quit her job and now she's acting all cocky about it. Of course, you making all that money, so you don't have to go back into that law firm or office or whatever the hell it's called and deal with all the blowback and shit. It's easy to act like you don't give a fuck when you don't have to deal with the backlash and the punishment for your actions. So what I'm telling you, most of these OnlyFans models, they're gonna send a lot of y'all women off trying to mimic them and act like them. Now, Jasmine Jafar, she's a little different from the common OnlyFans model because I don't want to say she's intelligent. She's well-spoken and manipulative. A lot of times people confuse being well-spoken with being intelligent. No, you know, she's manipulative enough and versed enough with putting together words to convince impressionable minds of certain things, right? But she's not intelligent. She's just extremely manipulative. And people are just enthralled with people that speak very well, unfortunately, and they interpret that as being intelligent. But I'm gonna just, you know, reiterate the point here. If you're not an OnlyFans model making a lot of money, do not try to mimic them. Do not be going around acting like them online, saying anything you want. Just think I don't give no fuck, whatever, because guess what? That video, whatever, may circulate back to somebody, and then you gonna give a fuck. Trust me. Talking about you don't care and you don't give a fuck. Hey, just make sure if you have that mentality that you don't need whatever job you might get fired from. If some video goes, you know, gets to your boss or your co-workers or shit like that, just make sure you don't really need that job. And don't get me wrong, I ain't trying to say OnlyFans models and Instagram models are the only ones out here acting crazy and moving crazy. Listen, there are a lot of 9-to-5 working women that's doing this thing, like teachers, ironically enough, and nurses. A lot of them, they be moving crazier than a lot of OnlyFans models and Instagram models, nurses and shit. You know, but the thing is, a lot of these nurses, they try to keep it behind closed doors and a secret to some extent, because they know, man, if I still need that nursing job, they can't be actively, you know, moving like some broad on OnlyFans, you know, or talking like one. You know, they got to try to keep it under wraps to some degree. Yeah, everybody knows nurses and CNAs, you know, they freaks and they cheaters and this and that. Yeah, but most of them are like smart enough to know that to not at least get caught on camera being exposed as such. Unless they making money on OnlyFans, because you got rare cases. There's some nurses out here, they double dipping. You know, they nursing and they doing OnlyFans and they somehow doing, you know, rare cases aside, over the most part, you get my point. Unless you got some other like kind of alternative and backups, be careful about what you post online. Yeah, but like I said, these OnlyFans models, the ones that's making lots of money, the ones that's putting out all this sex content and shit, you know, they're making so much money to where they can pretty much live in bubbles and isolate themselves. You know, most of them, they don't really do much in their lives. Most of them, all they do is sit in their condo, drink, smoke, shake their ass, and fuck. That's all they do. Drink, smoke, shake their ass, and fuck all day. And every now and then, they may take a vacation to Jamaica or the Bahamas just to get banged out by a bunch of Caribbean niggas. You know what I'm saying? But damn, when I say it like that, man, that kind of sound like most guys' dream. A girl that shake her butt and throw it back all day. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, I guess, like, not at least if you a guy that wants substance and a girl that's not going to be cheating on you and stuff, because most of those girls that do that OnlyFans, Instagram shit, that they cheating like crazy, whatever. But that's an entirely different topic in itself. You know, the main point, back to the main point, you know, be careful about what you post online, especially if you're a 9-to-5 worker. You know what I mean? With certain occupations, it comes with a certain expected code of conduct outside of work. You know, that's just what, you know, so I understand the perspective of that woman. You know, she's a normal person. She's going to have fun. She's going to do her thing, you know, but I also understand the school's perspective. I understand why a school would fire a teacher that goes viral for something like that. I do. Hey, but that's just my thoughts on it. Until then, later, people.